Alright, my dudes, welcome back to your horror movie recommendations review part 19. This is crazy. So I'm stoked because this week was a solid mashup of recommendations from like old school to new school and a bit all over the place. Like there hasn't been a common theme. So let's get to it. Oof. Alright. We're going to start with the movie Audition. So this was recommended by Shifuede from Imgur. Wow. I don't know why it took me so long to see this. I thought I had seen it, and it isn't a movie I'd seen before. So Audition is it's an Asian horror film slash like ghost story slash like, just spooky, okay? So it's all about this guy, this like rich dude who's like, I want a new wife, and like, I think the best way to do it is to like hold these auditions for like this perfect actress, and like basically what the actress has to do, it's all like messed up stuff. So he basically thinks like, okay, like this is gonna be able to filter out any kind of like prissy people, this or that. So they sit there, kind of like the movie Bring It On, right? And they're like conducting like things in front of them, like asking them questions and stuff. And they get to this one girl, and the dude right away is like, "Oh, I feel something. Like this has to be her, you know." And the guy's kind of like, "Settle down, you know. Maybe we should like go over other things." And he's like, "No." So he goes out on a date with her. He reaches out, and he's so in love, and it's just this weird moment where like he keeps getting red flags thrown at him. Like, dude, like I looked up her references, like they don't know her, like she was never like attended this ballet school or whatever she was talking about, and he's just like ignoring it, right? Turns out this movie is all about this crazy girl. I don't want to give anything away, but the the kills, like wicked, okay? The concept is so original, and it's filmed so well. It is such a great film. I highly suggest you guys watch it too. It literally, like, that ended, and I was like, oof, I needed that. I needed that. So thank you so much, my dude, for recommending that one. All right, next. American Mary, and that was recommended by Ezra from Imgur. Okay, American Mary was quite interesting. It's always fun to see a girl as a main actress in a horror movie that's kind of like, I don't want to say vengeful, but like that kicks some ass, you know, that she's the one who's a little, a little questionable. Anyways, this movie had me intrigued. I thought it was going to be balls, I won't lie. Balls, like, not okay balls. Anyways, just because the cover looked tacky. But you give it a chance, and it's about this girl who wants to be a surgeon, and I'm pretty sure she's attending medical school or whatever. So obviously she's broke at this point. So she does like kind of like escorting type stuff to like make up her money. But she gets approached, and this woman with the weirdest face. It's a beautiful latex appliance, I'm pretty sure they put on her to make it look like that. But it almost looks like one of my masks that I wear, like my prom dates. It's like a weird plastic girl face. And she's like, I need you to like perform some, surgery, and my friend will pay you cash, kind of thing. And like already she's like, oh man, like probably not a good idea. But she does it anyways. She starts getting known on like the black market to do like weird shit. So this movie was very interesting. To me, it felt along the lines of, I want to say Strangeland, because it has that whole body modification stuff to it. And also like the level of the way it was filmed slash acted, I kind of think. But it takes a turn, and it's cool. It was a cool little movie. So without spoiling anything, I suggest you guys see it. It's a pretty interesting premise, and I don't think I've seen a movie much like that one to date. So yeah, American Mary, guys. Next, Miss 45, and that was recommended by the Trash Stash from YouTube. Dude, thank you so much. This has been on my watch list for a while. I've seen it on Shudder, and I've just kind of put it past. And I finally sat there and watched it, and it is so good. Okay, right off the bat, guys, this girl gets raped twice in one day. Of course she's gonna flip her lid and start kicking ass, right? This movie, I have so much respect for it, because they really take that victim, but like flip it on his ass. It's good. It's very good. And I can't believe like this was like it's an older film. Yeah. Anyways, the girl's like, I want to say she's mute, like she can't speak. And she works for like a high-end designer or whatever. And this happens to her, obviously. And of course, she offs the second guy, like cuts him up into pieces. That whole like Dahmer effect kind of comes into play too. And you're basically just seeing how gritty it is, like how she's covering it up, but also still trying to go day to day. But like now she has like a spite for like shitty dudes, and she's like out there to get them. It's a really cool little movie. So thank you for that. And legit, you guys should see it. It's very good. Very good. Next, Belle from Hell, which was recommended by Beastmage number 3 from YouTube. All right, so Belle from Hell was different. Belle from Hell was kind of like one of these old school movies about this dude who gets released back to his family, basically on like probation because he was in the like an institution / jail. You don't really know for what. And obviously his family's like loaded. And basically he goes back and he's still off. And like he likes playing weird tricks on people. It's kind of interesting. You have this whole like scene with him like making like his own face cast and stuff. So you're like, oh, like I mean me being somebody who's in this industry, like this is cool. This is a crazy guy. But it really focuses on him. And it focuses on like his kind of like mentalness going into like all these anyways. So it's definitely worth a watch, okay? Because it's basically he starts like, you know, getting upset and like figuring out like maybe you guys put me in an institution, maybe you guys made me crazy, and he starts reacting and doing messed up shit. Yeah, so I don't want to say more than that. The ending, what? Yeah, it's worth it. This is worth it, and I love those elements that they throw in there. That he's kind of like a sculptor / like, you know, prop maker in a sense. Yeah, there's like these weird snippets. It's an older film. Like, you guys will like, it's slow, but it's worth it. Yeah, check it out. Next up, Paco Lantern. So that was recommended by Cisco's Illustration from Instagram. Yo, I needed this. I needed a solid little Halloween movie, and that got slapped in there, so thank you so much for recommending this one. This one I think is still on Tubi TV right now. And it is a fun little movie. So this is kind of like watching a Motel Hell or like Mother's Day. It's like a lighthearted horror in a sense. And basically, you got this creepy grandpa who's all like, "Ooh, that's my son," and like the mom's like, "Stop it, that's your grandson, that's my kid," and like he's got all these pumpkins, and he's like, "Oh man, like we're gonna do some sacrificial shit," and the mom's like, "Leave my kid alone," and like. It's one of these movies, right? So right away I'm like, all right, this is some kind of cult we don't really know about, but there's pumpkins everywhere, so I'm going to keep watching. This has got to be good, right? And of course the kid gets older, and he feels different. He's like working out. He's all like hardcore, like 80s kind of vibes. And like his brothers and sisters are like kind of like more square, I guess you'd say. Anyways, it's all about Halloween night and Grandpa being like, it's going to happen this year. I think what makes this movie is the grandpa. He's a creep, and there's so many moments where he's like talking to like the grandkids, and like you'll see like a boyfriend step in, like, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a problem?" They're like, "No, that's my grandpa." And it's like, why is your grandpa hitting on you that hard? Worth it for that. It cracks me up big time. And yeah, and of course the killer going around is this dude in like a big cloak with like a creepy devil mask. Pretty beast. Yeah. And, like, the acting is, like, just enough cheese. It's, like, well done, you know? So, definitely, if you're feeling Halloweeny too, pop that shit on. It is worth it. Thank you for pushing that one on me. And the last one, guys, that I was able to watch this week was The Empty Man. All right, so The Empty Man's, like, a newer horror movie. This was recommended by Esbeekay from YouTube. I had never heard of this movie before. I think I found it streaming on Disney. And, it kind of threw me off guard. So, like, it starts off, and you have Jesse Pinkman, right? And they're, like, in the mountains in some kind of place. I want to say, like, Peru or somewhere in the mountains. And he falls down because he thinks he hears a noise. He falls down this crack. And, of course, in this spooky cave, there's like this messed up skeleton shrine kind of thing. And like right away he's like mesmerized by it, and his friend's like, yo, like we need to get the hell out of here. And he just keeps mumbling to himself, and he's like, don't touch me, you're gonna die, blah blah blah. Anyways, the movie totally shifts after this, okay? And then you're thrown into some like ex-cop's life kind of thing. And basically what happens is a girl who's kind of kind to him goes missing. And he wants to help the mom find this girl. And they keep talking about this urban legend of the empty man. Okay, so you're probably lost. I was really lost. I was lost for a while. I was just like, hey, like, where did this beginning then shift into this entire movie? Like, I was, and like, it's well filmed, it's well done, well acted, but I was like, what's happening? So it's all about this urban legend. You find a bottle on a bridge, you go, and you think about the empty man, and he's gonna come get you. And kind of like The Ring, you know, instead of 7 days, it only takes about 3 days to get messed up. And you get spooky, he shows up, you start seeing him, yeah, and then you die, basically. So it was an interesting movie. Why? Because I don't know, to me, I was like, what am I watching? Because it starts off with like this like ancient kind of like vibe to it. And then it jumps to this like cop dude, and you're like, oh, he's trying to like help and solve something. And then it jumps to like cults. That's all I'm saying, okay? I'm stopping there. What makes me laugh so much is he keeps saying, like, I'm from LA. I know what's going on. It's like, oh my God. Is it that profound? Are there that many cults and things out there? Or I don't know. Anyways, definitely worth the watch. You guys gotta check it out. And yeah, thank you so much for all the recommendations this week, guys. Legit nailed it, as always. And keep them coming. You guys have been giving me so many, too, on the top 10. So I'll have to have, like, after I go through all these ones, guys, I'll have to have, like, a top 10 up of, like, where I go over these doll ones that you guys shouted out. And these zombie ones, because it's going to be good. And get ready for my new top list. I'm stoked. I'm not saying what it's going to be about. So, yeah. You guys have a wicked weekend. And if you're subscribed, thank you so much. And if you're not, you'll get on that. Come hang out. It's good times. And you find cool movies. And, like, you can watch me paint. It's good vibes. All right. Have a wicked weekend. Bye.